afternoon, everyone. We're going to call this meeting to order. Okay, item number 2 and number 3 on the agenda, we're going to skip. We just did that in our annual board meeting. So we're going to go to item 4, roll call.
Sergeant Connie Kirsch.
Present.
Jacqueline Nash Grant. Present. Reverend Dr. Mary Whitley Moss. Reverend Donald Hunter Sr. Mrs. Kathy Coleman. Coach Anthony Jones. Senator Larry Selder. Mrs. Sonia Boss. Mrs. Kathy Coleman. I called you already. Senator Larry Selder. I called him. Attorney Tracy Woods.
Present.
Major Frederick Thomas.
Present.
Madam Vice Chairman, we have a quorum.
Oh, you forgot.
I'm sorry.
Kathy,
Okay,
please.
so-
But I'm not on this list, so did I get kicked off?
No, you aren't. That's an oversight.
Attorney Jennifer Moisant,
I'm present.
Councilwoman Carolyn Cole.
Present.
Did you get Jerry?
Mrs. Jerry Booker,
Here.
Just let him write it.
Mrs. Mary Washington.
Present.
Sometimes we have a little mess up.
Okay. We have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Next, we're gonna call for public comments. Are there any public comments?
We gotta adopt it.
I'm sorry. Wait, before that, entertain a motion to adopt the agenda. Okay, it's been, motion by, Ms. Mary Washington, second by Ms. Kathy Coleman. Any objections? Okay, the agenda's been adopted. Next on our agenda is public comments. Do we have any public comments? Any public comments? Okay, seeing there's none. Our next item is action items, approval of policies and procedures for East Baton Rouge City Parish ARPA program.
Okay. As many of you know, we were awarded toward the end of last year, some American Recovery Act dollars from the city, $580,000. We have expended said dollars, but the city wants to see in our policies, they're doing a review of the way we spent the funds, and in our policies, there are 2 federal policies that we do not have. And so what we need are, we need your approval to adopt these policies and add them to our policy manuals. The first one is a duplication of benefits. It's an accounting policy. And what it says, in alignment with the Robert T. Stanford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act, the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging will disclose to the federal government any awarded federal funds received through any disaster relief, emergency response, or other whatever related award prior to accepting federal dollars. You know, I practiced this earlier, I forgot it already. East Baton Rouge Council on Aging will take necessary measures to ensure that any recipient of the federal funds through any program or project which it executes will comply with the federal requirements to prevent as able the duplication of benefits. So basically, it's just saying that we'll adopt their federal policy and make sure we don't duplicate any benefits. And for these dollars, we only bought raw food from our food vendor for the Meals on Wheels program. If you recall, these dollars were for the pandemic. All right, so we need a motion for that one.
Okay, entertain a motion to adopt the accounting policies and procedures for duplication of benefits. Okay, it's been moved by Sister Jerry Booker and seconded by Ms. Mary Washington. Any objections?
The Delta meeting popped out. All right. This is Delta surprise.
Yeah.
You looked at it?
Yeah. Church too. Okay, is there no objections? The motion carries.
All right. The second The second policy is a procurement policy for women's business enterprises, minority firms, and labor surplus firms, and the definition of reasonableness, allowability, and so it says, Council on Aging addendum to procurement policy. So we have to make an addendum to our policy and add this policy. Affirmative efforts will be taken to hire women's business enterprises, minority firms, and labor surplus firms when utilizing federal funding and in any other appropriate procurement effort. This includes, but is not limited to, direct solicitation, target outreach, and use of MWBE, SBE solicitation platforms to notify procurement opportunities. All correspondence and outreach will be documented and saved within the Council on Aging's procurement file. The Council on Aging addendum to a financial administration policies. The Council on Aging defines reasonableness, allowability in alignment with 2 CFR 200 dot, so on and so forth. That's it. That's all I need to read. Okay?
Okay. Entertain, a motion to approve this, procurement policies and procedures.
Applicable.
Okay, it's been moved by, it's been moved by Ms. Kathy Coleman, and second by Attorney Jackie Nash Grant. Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Action item B on our agenda is the election of officers.
Madam Secretary.
Madam Secretary.
So for the election of officers, we have vacant treasurer, secretary, vice chairperson, and chairperson. It just occurred to me
Are there any nominations for treasurer?
I nominate Coach Anthony Jones. He is not present. He has football practice, as you know, but he has expressed a desire to be treasurer and accepts all of the responsibilities. So in absentia, I'd like to nominate Coach Anthony Jones.
Okay.
The floor is now closed.
Yeah.
Okay, the nominations for treasurer are now closed. The next position would be secretary. Are there any nominations from this body for secretary?
I nominate Attorney Jackie Nash.
I accept.
Good, the nominations are closed. This is wonderful. This is how this is supposed to go. Okay, vice chairperson. Are there any nominations from this body for vice chairperson?
Oh,
I nominate Ms. Kathy Coleman.
what's she say?
She's nominated Ms. Kathy Coleman for chair. Do you accept?
I second. Will you second? Thank you. It would be an honor.
Look at that. Nominations are closed.
You have to say, are there any other nominations?
Are there any other nominations? See?
I can nominate myself.
Yes. You can nominate yourself.
I'm okay.
Are there any other nominations?
I nominate Jennifer Morrison for vice chairman.
All right. Nominations for vice chairperson are closed. Are there any nominations for chairperson? Are there any nominations for chairperson?
I nominate, is it Sergeant Connie Kirsch?
Yes.
Sergeant Connie Kirsch.
Sergeant Connie Kirsch? Okay. Are there any other nominations? Oh, do you accept? I'm sorry. Okay. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? And the nominations, go
Madam
ahead.
Acting Secretary, if we could, let's take the three that don't have any opposition in global, we'll do those together, then we'll come back, if we could, and do the vice chair.
Okay. So the nominations for chairperson are closed? Okay. So for treasurer, the nominee is Coach Anthony Jones.
So I move that we accept and elect the officers who have been nominated by acclamation. All three, treasurer, secretary, and chair. I know.
How can you do that, you're one of the people?
Oh, I'm one of the people. You're right.
If somebody else got to call the motion.
I don't
Okay.
remember in parliamentary procedure that I could not.
Well, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll move that we, by acclamation, accept the nominations
And
for
close.
treasurer, secretary, and chairperson.
You really could.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that the treasurer's position, the secretary position, and the chairperson's position be accepted and elected.
Then call for the vote.
You call for the vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay. So can we now move on to the vice chairperson position?
She's the chair.
Now she's chair.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna call for the vote, for vice chair.
Would you all prefer to do it by ballot?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Actually, I have no qualms. I adore her. I would graciously
Isn't she
send to her.
Just adorable.
Go ahead and tell them you're too busy.
I've never been hired and fired in 5 minutes before. What can I say?
Right.
But no, I graciously
Thank
would ask for just.
I second that.
It's awfully noble.
Moved in second, so all in favor?
Aye.
It's been
Okay, since Miss Kathy Coleman dropped out, it's been moved to second that, Attorney Jennifer Wilson, be elected for vice chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Okay, good job. At this time, do we have any unfinished business? Any new business?
Yes, Madam Chair. I just want to bring you all up to date on what occurred last night at the Metro Council meeting. We went to the Metro Council meeting in support of the Mayor's Thrive Baton Rouge initiative. So what will happen is our millage renewal campaign, along with the library and mosquito abatement, has been placed on the ballot for November the 15th. And what this does is give us, between now and Election Day, an opportunity to educate the community. For us specifically, what it is they are going to put our proposition on the ballot and levy our millage at the maximum levying amount, which is 2.25. As you know, this agency, since prior to COVID, hasn't received 2.25 since prior to COVID. And during COVID, we got rolled back from 2.25 to 2.13. And here recently in September, we got rolled back once again to 2.0. And so what they're going to do now is, the proposition reads, they're gonna elect us at our maximum levy amount. We keep the 2.0 that we've been getting for the last 6-8 months. The city parish will get the 0.25 in their coffers, which equates to about $1.5 million a year. Over the course of the 10-year millage, it will be $15 million they'll get that would normally come to our coffers. that will go to the city's coffers to patch a significant hole in their budget, which of course is it's a $52 million debt services, and I believe that's the money that's owed to the city of St. George. There is another $21 to $22 million for infrastructure work that needs to occur, your sewer, your streets, those kind of vital services. And so in the spirit of, there's another $4.5 million that the administration has not determined what they'll do with. But in the spirit of partnership and community, we decided that it would be better for us to go with our counterparts than for us to go on a ballot the following year after the fight and fallout has transpired. If for any reason that the millage does not pass, or the proposal, the Thrive BR does not pass, we are situated differently than the library. What will happen for us is we can rerun our millage, because in essence, our millage is not up for renewal until 2026. So we will have monies coming in our coffers for 25, 26, and then if we rerun it for next year, then we'll have money for 2027. And so there has been a meeting with the library and us, and we'll have another meeting with the library and mosquito abatement, but we have decided to join forces. You know, two is better than one, and we both have different constituencies, so we're gonna work together to get our items passed together. And so we will be depending heavily on you all to get the word out for us, because as you know, as employees, we cannot say certain things, right? Of course, we can educate and inform, but we can't encourage anybody to do anything. And so we will be dependent on you and our advocates, and of course, our seniors, after yesterday, who's been blowing the phone up. What we doing? We're getting on the corner. I'm like, it's just the first day. So, you know, hold on. And one of the seniors told me last night, we want you to know the Great Army has been activated, and we're ready to fight. And so we're gonna go and we're gonna do what we need to do to make sure that we're victorious, and that we only have to do this one time. And so I wanted to bring you all up to date. Ms. Kirsch was there, Jennifer, and of course, Councilwoman, you wanna say something?
Just wanna let you all know that Council on Aging didn't have to do what they did, but they did it. And
Right.
yeah, y'all know that song, don't sit here like you don't know it. And so, Rem, good doctor, I know you know it. And so, that's it, that's the rest of it, but yes, and library not crazy, they know Council on Aging folk gonna get out, those seniors gonna get out and going to vote, so it behooved them to get on the tail of them, but all of this, yeah, transpired last night, but the polls will tell the story in November. And so that's where it is.
Right. Well,
I wanna ask a question. We have seniors who live in St. George, and it's not mythical anymore. It's a real city where our services, what is the contribution going to be, the contribution from St. George? And the next thing is, what is the contribution from the city of Zachary, Central, Baker, to Council on Aging's budget?
so we don't get direct contributions from the cities themselves, but we do get contribution from the taxpayers in those areas. And that is collected through the sheriff's office, depending upon the value of your property. Since we have 2.0 mills, it's not as large as a library or BREC, but it's significant. And if you have a $200,000 house, after your exemption of $75,000, I want to say you'll pay around $22 to $28, depending on the value of your home. Annually, yes, annually. And so $2 or $3 a month as compared to some others. So everybody that is a property owner and has a tax is spread out all over the parish. And so we serve all of these cities. We have a senior center in Zachary. We have a senior center in Central. We have a senior center a couple in St. George. We got a senior center in Cheneyville that's bumps up against Zachary. So we, and then, you know, senior center is just a small facet of what we do. Our major component, our biggest service that costs the most is Meals on Wheels, right? So we are in the homes of homebound seniors throughout all of these cities. Mostly in those areas than in Baton Rouge proper. We serve probably more in the rural areas, delivery straight to the door, because it's difficult to get out, come to the store. It gives the caregiver an opportunity not to have to worry about making a meal, and they get the 7 meals. And so we are in all these parishes, and I think part of our education would be to go and remind them.
I'd like to also say, in closing out this Board of Directors meeting, we would be remiss if we did not acknowledge Tasha, Amar, Clark, whatever the other name is.
Thank you.
Because of all that she does, and it is selflessness.
Right.
And so it's not about her at all. When I first came on this board, when she gave up, don't give me no raise, take care of my people, then I knew that I was at the right place. So
Right.
you are appreciated,
Thank
those
you.
seniors appreciate you, and know what you're doing
Yes,
for
ma'am.
them.
Thank you so much, I
Yes.
appreciate that. That's it for me, Madam Chair. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
To piggyback on that, in addition to the seniors, the grandparents raising grandchildren that we have, Tasha graced us with her presence at our conference on April 25th, and I'm gonna tell you, there were people in there, seniors who didn't know your name.
Yeah.
And said, who's she? We need to get her. We need to get her back. So I'd like you to put it on your calendar.
Yes,
for-
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
But
ma'am.
honestly, kudos to you, because everybody across the city just thinks the world of you.
Okay. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. And
Okay.
now we just need to get to work for our seniors, because these services are critical and are needed, and we'll just have to convince the powers that be and the voting populace that it's important. And so with that, one last thing, we will need to schedule a board meeting next month, which is normally your break month, I know, but we'll need to schedule a board meeting because the Governor's Office of Elderly Affairs and the federal government, with the Older American Act changes that they're making, they want to discuss and have us to approve a new budget. You know, they're cutting everywhere, right? So we've received some of our contracts, but not all of them. But by the time we meet again next month, just to approve the budget, we'll have that in front of you. And hopefully the city, because we haven't gotten their budget either. And normally, we would have gotten it by a month ago, but they haven't sent the budget forms either, so.
I'm not available the June 19th to the 27th.
Okay, because you'll be traversing the country.
I'll be celebrating my wedding anniversary.
All right, okay. All right, Madam Chair.
Okay. Any
Yes,
other
sir.
questions?
Okay.
Okay, entertain a motion for adjournment.
Oh, you wanted to say something?
No.
Oh,
No,
you
she
making
was-
the motion. I didn't know, was you praising?
Okay, it's been moved and second. Wait.
No, not a real question.
Council on Aging.